Those are archived on Facebook and YouTube, where you can go back and watch as well later on. So Rutherford Issues, Roundtable, and, of course, those high school games, the coaches' shows. So we've got it all for you right here on Big G TV. This morning, we say good morning to today's Good Neighbor of the Day. That's Hope Emore. Hope is today's Good Neighbor of the Day for keeping the office organized, making it a happy place to work. Hope Emore is the recipient of flowers today from Ryan Flowers Coffee and Gifts, along with News Radio, WGNS, Good Neighbor of the Day, Hope Emore. Now, help us out with a good neighbor. I know you know someone who helps keep the office organized, maybe. Makes it a happy place to work. Whatever that designation you want to put on your good neighbor, do that. Let us know who it is. And then from there, we'll share it with our listeners and viewers here in a few weeks. Maybe even next week if you get it in. Holler at me today. How do you do that? Text neighbor, wgnsradio.com/goodneighbor, or text neighbor 2615-893-1450. I just combined those two things in my brain. So again, text neighbor to our number, 615-893-1450, or wgnsradio.com/goodneighbor. Those are the two easy ways that you can get a good neighbor to us. Hope Emore, today's good neighbor. And thanks to Ryan Flowers for their, at least 4 decades, if not longer, partnership in saluting a good neighbor of the day. Shane Hall is today's birthday club winner. Shane, happy birthday. Hope you enjoy the banana pudding that you'll get to receive from Slick Pig Barbecue over at 1920 East Main. Just stop on by and say, hey, I'm the WGNS birthday club winner, and you'll get your banana pudding. And you don't have to share. That's a good thing about it, right? So again, happy birthday to Shane Hall. We do that each weekday morning as well. So you can jump in on the Slick Pig Barbecue Birthday Club by calling or texting in birthdays either the night before or early the morning of. Got to have those in by about 7:30. All right. Birthday Club each weekday morning. Fridays, we do the Saturday birthdays. On Monday, we pick up the Sunday birthdays that we missed, so we can get each day of the week on, since we do it each weekday. All right, there you go.
Now, here's your Rutherford weather forecast.
Sunshine right now, 43, feels pretty good. The temperatures are going up, but you know when the temperatures go up, usually this time of the year, that means rain. So we do have some rain in the forecast.
Well, Brian, it looks like we'll see sunny skies here for this afternoon with a high in the mid-50s. Southwest winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tonight, mostly clear, a low near 35. By Wednesday, sunshine, a high around 59 degrees. Thursday, a chance for rain, cloudy, high of 59. Friday, we'll have a chance for rain showers again, cloudy, high of 65. Then by Saturday, partial sunshine develops, high 55. Sunday, mostly sunny, high 64 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. And currently, we've upped the temperature in Murfreesboro to 45 degrees. I was having trouble with my Smyrna reading, but got it at the Smyrna airport. It's 45 degrees. A little bit of a wind chill makes it feel like 41, so it doesn't quite feel like 45, but anything's better than where we've been most of the month of January. So enjoy the sunshine today. Will be mostly sunny tomorrow. Then Thursday, we have those rain chances, especially Thursday night into early Friday. So the second half of Thursday throughout the night and the first half of Friday. But nice weekend, mid-50s, even 60s by Sunday. Sunday is going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous day. That's your Rutherford weather forecast. And a reminder to check out Rutherford Weather on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, and Twitch. And on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch and X channels, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. That way, you'll get updates on local weather, Rutherford County weather, and especially during impactful, and we're not going to do like every day, 4 or 5 times a day information. Just when, it's necessary, or at least once a week, just to kind of get you up to date on what the feeling is for the weather. But especially during impactful and severe weather, we are live on the Rutherford Weather Channel. What does that mean? Well, if you watch, you'll see radar. You'll see live cameras. You'll see information affecting us right here in Rutherford County. We can track storms through the county, give you times of arrival, give you some all clears, that kind of thing. Meteorologist Justin Bailey, our weatherology meteorologist, myself, will keep you updated during impactful and severe weathers. That's RutherfordWX.com, Rutherford Weather. From that website, you can find our social platforms or just find your favorite, RUCO Weather, R-U-C-O Weather. Spell out weather, W-E-A-T-H-E-R.
Good day, Rutherford County. This is Lee Colvin, financial advisor and CFP with Edward Jones. Let's get the latest business news from our financial desk.
Equity markets trading up early today. Sectors mixed as technology stocks are rebounding from yesterday's sell-off that was sparked by Chinese AI startup DeepSeek, which large language model reportedly performs comparably to those of the leading U.S. technology companies. So there is a bit of a bounce back from that. From the NVIDIA sell-off, the Dow is up 232 points right now at 44,940. S&P up 40 at 6051. NASDAQ ahead 239 at 19,580.
From Wall Street to Church Street, that's the latest business news from the Edward Jones Financial Desk. I'm financial advisor and CFP Lee Colvin. Call 615-907-7056 or stop by our office on South Rutherford Boulevard in the Public Shopping Center.
Rutherford Issues on News Radio WGNS.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. Are you ready to take control of your energy usage and save money? Download the MyMTE app to track your energy consumption, pay your bills, and even report outages right from your phone. It's free and available for iOS and Android. We're checking on the latest world news from CBS. That's next. Then we'll have your Rutherford Roundup with Dalton Barrett. He's got a look at what's happening right here in Rutherford County. Stay with us. Rutherford Issues continues here on WGNS and Big G TV.
CBS Radio News.
CBS News Brief. Federal agents descended on New York City this morning to carry out immigration raids under President Trump's deportation initiative. CBS New York's Christina Fan.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem was on hand for the operation, posting a video on X and writing that we are doing this right, doing exactly what President Trump promised the American people.
At least one suspect taken into custody. The Trump administration's paused federal loans and grants, triggering confusion. Business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
There is an eye towards eliminating funding for programs that promote diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as climate-related initiatives.
Tech stock stabilizing after the sell-off triggered by China's AI startup DeepSeek. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
This really calls into question the American chipmakers' dominance. NVIDIA lost nearly $600 billion.
NVIDIA up 2.78% right now. NASDAQ ahead 237. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
SRM Concrete. With every new day, every sunrise, we build structures that stand the test of time. And upon their foundations are our homes, where we work, where our kids go to school. And with that comes tremendous pride. We don't just make concrete, we build relationships, trust, confidence. We're SRM Concrete. Build with us.
This is a paid legal ad.
You've probably heard it a million times. If you're injured, call a lawyer. And you probably haven't because you don't know how much it will cost, how long it will take, or even if you have a case. At the law offices of John Day, we provide a free initial consultation because we understand that folks don't want to pay a lawyer only to find out they don't have a case. If you think we can help, we do so on a contingency basis, which means we only get paid if you do. Seriously injured? Call me, John Day.
I'm Dalton Barrett with News Radio WGNS, and here are the top stories affecting Rutherford County on your Rutherford Roundup for Tuesday, January the 28th, 2025. A collaborative investigation involving the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the Carroll County Sheriff's Office, the Henry County Sheriff's Office, and the 24th District Attorney General's Office has resulted in the arrest of a Huntington, Tennessee man Authorities launched the investigation on Thursday, January 23rd, at the request of the 24th Judicial District Attorney General Neil Thompson, into allegations of sexual misconduct involving James Edward Thomas Jr. On January 24th, Thomas was taken into custody in the 100 block of Veterans Drive North in Huntington. He's charged with aggravated rape of a child, aggravated sexual battery, and incest. Thomas was booked into the Carroll County Jail with a bond set at $275,000. State Representative Tim Rudd has reintroduced a bill for the 2025 legislative session aimed at addressing the shortage of school resource officers in Tennessee schools by allowing veterans and retired law enforcement officers to fill these positions. The proposal, previously passed by the House, stalled in the Senate last session, would apply to public and chapter schools. Eligible candidates would need to complete 40 hours of training on school policy, pass a handgun eligibility test, obtain written authorization to carry firearms on school grounds, and undergo a psychiatric evaluation and pass FBI background checks. This won't entirely solve the shortage problem, but it will help, Rudd explained. The priority is protecting our children, especially in rural areas. Veterans and retired officers bring skill and experience well suited for school environments, said McNeely McNash, a 20-year-old Navy veteran. The measure aligns with Tennessee's broader efforts to enhance school safety and provide opportunities for those with military and law enforcement backgrounds to serve in their communities. In the wake of last week's tragic events at Antioch High School, a new incident has surfaced, this time involving threats made online. A 17-year-old student has been arrested for allegedly issuing an electronic threat against the school's principal on Instagram. The investigation, which began on Saturday, culminated in the arrest of the female student by Community Crimes Unit detectives. She's been charged in juvenile court with communicating a threat to a school official. The Metro Nashville Police Department emphasized that threats against schools, staff, or community institutions are treated with the highest level of seriousness, stating those responsible will be identified and prosecuted. And counterfeit products are no longer confined to shady online deals. They're making their way into local social media sales. One Murfreesboro resident learned this the hard way after purchasing what she thought was a brand new pair of on-cloud Cloud Nova 2 running shoes via Facebook Marketplace. The buyer, who wishes to remain anonymous, spotted the shoes listed as an unworn Christmas gift that didn't fit. After negotiating the price down to $80, she arranged to pick them up at the seller's home near Walmart on Joby Jackson Parkway. However, upon returning home, the buyer realized her brand name shoes were counterfeit, with obvious discrepancies in color, quality, and craftsmanship compared to the legitimate on-cloud product. She also noticed the seller had relisted the shoes instead of marking them as sold, suggesting the counterfeit operation might involve multiple items. This incident highlights a growing prevalence of counterfeit goods being sold locally, particularly on platforms like Facebook Marketplace. Buyers are urged to approach deals with caution, especially when they seem too good to be true. The Rutherford County Continuum of Care, known as Rutherford Thrives, has been awarded $707,489 from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to further its mission of ending homelessness. This funding is part of the HUD's competitive $3.6 billion Continuum of Care grant distribution aimed at fostering community-wide efforts to combat homelessness. The Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Center also received $132,000 from the grant, bolstering its ability to provide housing services for survivors of domestic violence. At DVSA, we are grateful for receiving COC HUD funding, said Erica Downing of the DVSA. This enables us to assist survivors of domestic and sexual violence in finding housing options that provide safety and stability. There's a direct link between domestic violence and homelessness, and we aim to break that cycle for those that we serve. Rutherford Thrives offers a spectrum of services from emergency shelter to permanent housing, helping individuals and families achieve stable housing and self-sufficiency. The program relies on the collaboration of government agencies, nonprofits, and community stakeholders. For more details, visit rutherfordthrives.org. And some good news for Tennessee drivers: the state now ranks as the 5th cheapest in the nation for gas prices, according to AAA. The average price for regular unleaded gas is $2.68 per gallon, a drop from 8th place just 3 weeks ago. The Murfreesboro-Smyrna area remains a haven for budget-conscious motorists, with an average prices reflecting the state's affordability. Nearby Bedford County boasts even lower averages at $2.62 per gallon, while Cannon County sees prices just slightly higher at $2.94 per gallon. In an update to an earlier story, a tragic shooting at Chelsea Place Apartments on Bradyville Pike claimed the life of a 1-year-old and left the child's mother injured on Sunday. Authorities say the suspect, 24-year-old Marcarius Hampton, became angry over loud music and engaged in a physical altercation with the mother before opening fire. The infant, seated in a stroller, was struck multiple times despite the mother's attempt to shield the child. She was shot in the hand during the incident. Using license plate reader technology, police tracked Hampton's vehicle to Williamson County. He abandoned the car and fled on foot into a field. Deputies pursuing him saw a gun in his hand before discovering him with a gunshot wound. Hampton was transported to Vanderbilt University Medical Center, where he later died. Authorities are investigating whether his wound was self-inflicted or accidental. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is conducting an independent investigation into the incident, which has shaken the Murfreesboro community. For crisis assistance, contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. And lawmakers convened Monday for a special legislative session focusing on Governor Bill Lee's Education Freedom Scholarship Act, disaster relief, and immigration reform, while protesters called for gun control in light of the recent Antioch High School shooting. The voucher program aims to provide parents with taxpayer-funded options for private schooling. Critics argue it could divert money from public schools, despite assurance that the public school funding will not be impacted. The plan would cost $425 million in its first year and $226 million annually thereafter. The bill also proposes redirecting 80% of sports betting tax revenue to fund public school infrastructure projects. Governor Lee stated education freedom allows parents, not the government, to choose what's best school for their children. That's all for now. For updates on these, as well as more local news stories, check out our website, wgnsradio.com, or follow us on social media at News Radio WGNS on Facebook and X. I'm Dalton Barrett, and I'll talk to you later.
Whether you're grabbing coffee or walking the dog, the Rutherford Roundup delivers the latest Rutherford County news in just minutes a day. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast platform or visit wgnsradio.com and start your morning informed.
Our people, that's the difference. Maples Realty and Auction.
I'm Betsy Maples Taylor with Maples Realty and Auction Company in Murfreesboro.
Maples Realty and Auction offers a variety of auction services, including home, estate, land, farm, bank-owned property, equipment, and personal property auctions. Get in touch for a free no-obligation analysis to determine if the auction method is best for you. More information at maplesrealtyandauction.com or call 896-4740.
Maples Realty and Auction.
Get old. Old National Bank, that is. Old National Bank has the experience and service you need to buy a home, make investments, even online and mobile banking. Old National Bank is in the borough on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard.
Old National Bank at 2230 Dr. MLK Jr. Boulevard, which used to be Mercury Boulevard.
Visit us and enjoy warm, homemade cookies at Old National Bank.
Old National Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Steve DeSager.
What a late game in college basketball at Arizona. The Wildcats tied third-ranked Iowa State at the end of regulation on a three-pointer made from the backcourt at the buzzer. Arizona then won the game in the OT 86-75. Number 2-ranked Duke pulled away for a 74-64 win against NC State. In the NBA, the Lakers held off Charlotte 112-107. Anthony Davis 42 points and 23 rebounds. New York a 143-106 decision over Memphis, ending the Grizzlies' 6-game winning streak. Miami came back for a double overtime victory against Orlando. Jimmy Butler was suspended by the Heat again, now for at least 5 games, his third suspension this month. Houston won on a late bucket at Boston, 114-112. Dallas sent Washington to a 14th straight loss, 130-108. Victories for Phoenix and Milwaukee. NHL wins for Detroit and Edmonton.
Ascension St. Thomas Heart is the leader in Middle Tennessee for heart care, providing the most advanced options, including heart surgery and transplants. Our nationally recognized cardiac team cares for more adult hearts than anyone in the state, from AFib to heart failure, using minimally invasive options when possible to help shorten recovery, making Ascension St. Thomas Heart your first choice for routine heart care and cardiac emergencies. Schedule a heart screening or find a cardiologist at ascension.org/St. Thomas Heart.
This is News Radio WGNS, Prime Time Sports.
Sponsored by the law offices of John Day. Our expanded office location is on Medical Center Parkway, just across the street from the hospital. If you've been injured, call us for a free consultation at 867-9900.
All right, friends. Well, tonight on WGNS Radio, wgnsradio.com, streaming, and on Big G TV video, we'll have Smyrna Stewart's Creek. Smyrna Stewart's Creek game on WGNS this evening from Smyrna High School. A big day at Smyrna. They are doing the ribbon cutting here in an hour and a half on their brand new addition to the school. And they've got their rival from just down the road a few miles, Stewart's Creek, coming in tonight. So looking forward to that contest tonight, girls and boys, here on WGNS. Coming up for you on Friday, we've got Siegel Riverdale basketball. Siegel Riverdale, that will be from Siegel. We'll have it covered for you as well on radio, streaming, and video. That'll be Friday. 5:50 airtime for both of the games this week. 6 o'clock will be the tip in the girls' game and the boys' game to follow. Saturday morning, it's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner. Talking to girls' coaches this week, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'm sorry, Saturday morning. It's not Friday yet, is it? 9 o'clock Saturday morning. And then at 11:15, it's MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by TOA. So we've got a big week of high school. Now, how about MTSU? The Lady Raiders will be at New Mexico State Thursday evening, Thursday 6:30. We'll have that one on WGNS for you. As well as Saturday, they will be at UTEP. So New Mexico State and Texas El Paso. A little road swing here for the Lady Raiders. The Saturday game, 1:30 airtime on WGNS. The men play at the same time here at home, so you can see them at home and take your radio or phone to listen on for the Lady Raiders at the men's game, again, around the same time. Those games also, the men's games on the network. And that is a look at the latest in local sports from WGNS. Checking statewide news right now from Access Tennessee, Will Nunley, take it away.
Access Tennessee News, I'm Will Nunley. Words from student activists inside the state capitol late Monday as lawmakers adjourned day one of the special session. Before the proceedings began, hundreds of students gathered outside the Capitol steps to plead for gun safety measures. This after a fatal shooting at Antioch High School last week. This session, however, will focus largely on public school vouchers and aid for East Tennessee storm victims. Meanwhile, today is the first day back to class for Antioch High School students. Even though the school is reopening, Access Tennessee spoke with several students and parents who say it will take more time before the students are ready to walk the halls again, just 1 week after that fatal shooting. Metro Nashville Public Schools announced they will add another student resource officer to Antioch High School. The addition will bring the total number of SROs at the high school to 3, which is the most out of any Metro school. More news in 30 seconds.
When you struggle with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, you get used to not feeling 100%. I thought that was how it had to be. Until I discovered the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. They told me about new medications that weren't around back when I was diagnosed. They helped me find a specialist who gave me a new treatment plan. I'm feeling better than I ever thought I could. Don't settle for not feeling your best. Take action today to take care of yourself. Spill your guts. Learn more at spillyourguts.org.
McGee-Tyson Airport in East Tennessee had 3.3 million passengers in 2024, the most they've ever had. That was a 17% increase over 2023. The airport is currently undergoing an expansion. It broke ground on a new parking garage in November that builders expect to have 3,500 spots. This is part of a development plan to expand the airport to keep up with East Tennessee's population growth. Runway improvements are also being added. Will Nunley, Access Tennessee News.
Sometimes, strange things can happen.
Coast to coast, all night, every night.
There's really no reason to be afraid.
On WGNS, AM, FM, online.
If you want to get some barbecue, I'll tell you how to do it. Head for the Slick Pig and you're into it. Just walk through the door at 1920 East Main and your nose will send a message right to your brain. Say, smells good. And barbecue. Slick Pig. They got ribs and beans. Got spicy wings. Slick Pig.
A Murfreesboro tradition. 1920 East Main.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by the law offices of John Day and Americare Pest Control.
I've got pests.
AmeriCare is Rutherford County's #1 choice in pest control, and it's simple to see why. After calling 893-7111, their staff came to my house 8 years ago when I had an insect problem. They looked at the situation, showed me the areas and what they'd recommend to resolve the problem. After treatment and with quarterly checks, I'm bug, critter, and creepy crawly free. Thanks, AmeriCare.
Call the best of the best to get rid of your pest.
AmeriCare, 893-7111.
WGNS encourages you to shop local. Patronize those mom and pop businesses. Put this on your calendar. The MTSU Groundhog's Day Luncheon is this Friday. That's right, January the 31st. The doors open at 11 o'clock Friday morning, and the 52nd Annual Groundhog Day Lunch is served at 11:30. It's all in the MTSU Student Union Ballroom. Again, the MTSU Groundhog Day Luncheon is this Friday. Also this coming weekend, Alice by Heart continues at the Art Center of Cannon County in neighboring Woodbury. And the Red Cross is still critically low on blood. Phone them and make an appointment to give blood at a time that fits your schedule. Phone 800-RED-CROSS. Hey, listen, this Saturday, the Polar Bear Plunge at SportsCom. You get to dive into the outdoor pool at SportsCom. The plunge is at 11 o'clock, but the fun begins at 8 o'clock Saturday morning, right there in the gym at SportsCom. Don't miss the Polar Bear Plunge. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
When severe weather strikes, we break in.
A tornado watch is in effect for Rutherford County.
The most up-to-date weather information.
We'll be here with you on radio and with Rutherford Weather Video Channel.
Rutherford Weather updates on WGNS and watch on YouTube and Facebook with Rutherford Weather. Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. Their charitable foundation is called Sharing Change, and that is funded by members like maybe yourself who round up their electric bills to the nearest dollar each month, supporting hundreds of nonprofits. Find out more at sharingchange.org. Well, speaking of nonprofits, we're going to have some conversation this morning about our local Salvation Army. Reagan Love joins us, the Community Relations and Development Director. And good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you.
Great to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
I guess since I haven't seen you in the new year, Happy New Year applies still.
Happy New Year to you. Absolutely.
It's been a busy January, I would assume.
Yes, it's been a long January.
Yeah, it seems like
never ending. So it feels like the Christmas season is far behind us, but it was just a month ago.
Yeah. I'm sure that there are lots of things. You know, January is kind of that time that we look down the road, what's coming up, kind of get plans together, a planning type of month, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's an exciting time to reflect on, the things that happened and successes and then things to change for this coming year. So it's definitely exciting.
Well, let's talk a little bit about 2024. And
Sure.
It's almost like the Salvation Army likes to cram, so much work in November and December, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, it is our season, isn't it? So yeah, we're so thankful. We of course have our Angel Tree program and then our Kettle fundraiser that happens. Angels, kids and seniors, we had 1,400 kids and seniors that we gave out gifts to this year. And that, again, it kind of offset that financial responsibility that parents feel around Christmas time to provide that kind of Christmas experience for their kids, and also being able to support our seniors. And I, along with many of our community volunteers, were there at distribution. And so it was great to be able to see those families, and, a lot of the parents that come to pick up their gifts are just in amazement and so grateful. And so it's just such a beautiful opportunity that we have as a community to come and support our families like that and our seniors as well.
So you have community volunteers, but each of those gifts was purchased by a local person business.
Absolutely. Yes,
So-
we have amazing partners with corporations, nonprofit organizations, individuals, and we want to say a huge thank you to them because we wouldn't be able to do it without them. So grateful for the community here in Murfreesboro, Rutherford, Camden counties. It's pretty amazing.
Now, you also mentioned the senior population in that, and and it's not like they're asking for toys, but
Right, exactly. Sometimes they want some type of kitchen item, maybe if they want some type of crock pot, toaster, things like that, or blankets, a new bedding set, or things like that. And so it was great to be able to see all of those things also in our gyms where we had all of these toys. If you were visiting, you would have seen it was very full of all the gifts. So we're thankful for our space for sure.
I've definitely had the opportunity to participate in that, and just to see the organization that goes into putting everything out. So it's easy to find when there's a pickup. It's done very efficiently.
Yes. Well, our Sergeants Ruby and George Keith are our officers here in Murfreesboro, and they came on in October, and so hit the ground running.
Right.
But they did such a fantastic job of really streamlining everything, everybody, receiving the everything that they were assigned to have, and it was very well-oiled machine. So grateful for that.
Yeah, and to the volunteers that helped, and to those that contributed in ways like purchasing gifts on the angel tree and things like that. Just a thanks for the community for continuing to do that. And the recipients, there's a process. Kind of explain or remind us of that process of how that happens. I mean, how do you know that little Johnny is on the angel tree? I mean, how does that come about?
Sure. So we work very closely with schools, family resource centers of the schools. They get us connected.
Okay.
Also, you can. It was an online application, and it's a great process because all of their documentation for whatever they needed is uploaded on their own, and then we go through and we just kind of look through all of that information, make sure everything looks great, and then we send email confirmations, and they get a number. And it's pretty amazing. I think I did an angel tree back when I lived in Naples, and it was very different back then.
Sure.
I think we were dreaming of the day where things like this happen. So, because it used to be kind of an in-person, and I know that's beautiful. It's just we have so many families and individuals that we want to get to, and so being able to work with the schools and being able to post when those portals open to sign up for it. So that's kind of how it works. And then they put in, families will put in what they each of their children wants, and there's a tag. And as you were talking about, corporate partners, individuals, nonprofit, whomever come and they get kind of a stack of those tags and go shop for them. So
that's cool.
Very special.
Interesting process. You mentioned the, as we'll call it, olden days.
Yes.
And, it was definitely a process. There was a lot of paper that had to trail that particular angel, if you will. So
exactly.
So I'm glad that, technology has allowed us to streamline that some.
So
and
grateful.
I think that helps us help more people just
Absolutely.
because of the manpower that's not necessary.
And we can have it kind of more in a one day. And so therefore, we can continue doing all the other things that we need to do, because a lot of times our staff from the rest of the building is coming to help support that angel tree distribution. That's a hard word to say. So it's great to have them to be able to go back and continue with the services that they're in charge of,
considering that is going on at the same time as kettles.
Exactly. Yeah. So this year our Red Kettle Challenge goal was $50,000, and we raised $66,000.
Oh, wow.
So we are just over the moon, just so thankful to the community for how they have contributed. Those who did a Red Kettle Challenge, we're so grateful. We had a lot of different groups come out and volunteer at the kettles, which is such a helpful thing because, they see those wonderful community members at the kettle and, people give more. So we're so grateful. And all of those funds go towards Murfreesboro, the local efforts to meet the needs of our neighbors in greatest need.
Yep, stays right here, and that's the beautiful thing about the Red Kettle. That number seems maybe a bit higher than the previous year. I'm not sure, but
yeah, we went above by 16,000, so we're very, very happy about that. For sure, definitely.
And it takes a lot of volunteers for that too, doesn't it?
Yes. Well, we have over the year 2024, we had 344 volunteers over the entire year, which equals to 2,262 hours, which is significant. I mean, without our volunteers, we would, we definitely want to be able to reach all that we did. So grateful for our volunteers as well.
That is true. Reagan Love is joining us today from our local Salvation Army, the Community Relations and Development Director. And it takes a lot of money to operate throughout the year. And we're going to talk about another event coming up, but maybe just kind of give us an overview of, you say the money from the kettles at Christmas, it stays here. What does that do? What does that allow the Salvation Army to do here locally?
Sure. So we, of course, have our emergency supportive housing, which is there at our location on West Main Street. And we have opportunities for single men, single women, and families to come who are experiencing homelessness. And we, of course, work with what we call the coordinated entry, which helps us to have families or individuals come who are in the most need to be able to get those spots. And so that's one aspect of our programs. Then we also have, of course, our feeding program, which this past year, 2024, we served 2,030 meals last year. So we're excited to report about that. So we have our feeding, and then of course we also have our financial stability classes that we have going on. And we have several individuals involved with that. And then, of course, Angel Tree, which we just spoke about. And then some other things are in the works. And so we're excited about this year and some different opportunities for volunteering, for giving, and all those things.
Well, good. That is definitely a lot. That's a lot of meals served as well. And that's a daily evening meal, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's right.
So at the Salvation Army, they... different corps have different programs, if that makes sense. And I guess you were there to kind of fill the need for what the need is here in Rutherford County. It may be different, for instance, the focus areas for Nashville or, a corps in Kentucky, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. The need here is, we see similarities. But, we're seeing more and more that families, are experiencing homelessness. And something else that we're able to do is work with our families that are possibly facing eviction. We're able to give them the resources that they need. We have a process right now for that. And also those who are trying to get into maybe an apartment and need their security deposit, things like that. Those are kind of things that we have been able to help with as well.
Well, that's all. That keeps them in shelter.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that is the goal, is that we really try to empower and encourage and support families, individuals in their homes so they remain in their homes, but also provide opportunities for them to be supported.
Reagan, let's talk about Beyond the Bells making a big comeback this year, and that's kind of the signature fundraiser.
Yes, absolutely. We were, a little sad that we didn't get to have ours last year. We had a change in leadership, and so grateful. It's been such a beautiful transition, and so now we're excited. March 20th, Beyond the Bells, and we already actually have a few sponsors, and so we have Middle Tennessee Electric, who has sponsored us, Nissan, Ascend Federal Credit Union, Pinnacle Financial Partners, and Old National Bank. So we're thankful for those sponsors and to continue to possibly receive more sponsorships, but also just looking forward to a great opportunity to share our story to those who come.
So it will be held March 20th.
Correct, March 20th. And if you're interested in joining us, you can send me an email, Regan, REGAN.love, LOVE, at USS.salvationarmy.org. It's a long tag at the end. But you can always call us if you're interested in coming. We'd love to have you, and we can send out more details of that.
I'll stick your email address on the podcast post. That way people can go back and pull that. And it's a luncheon?
Yes, lunch.
Okay.
Yeah, 11:30 to 1. 11:30 is lunch is served, and 12 is when the program should start. So it'll be kind of a compact time, but it'll be worth it.
Yeah, it always is. And what's the location this time?
So this is the View at the Fountains.
Okay, awesome.
So beautiful venue. So grateful. Just met with them this past week, and they're so gracious to host us there.
It was there a couple of years ago, and was just really a great venue and a good view.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was telling her you don't need much in that room because it's just so beautiful with all the windows.
Yeah.
So grateful to be there for sure.
So are you still working with like table host and things like that? Is that how this is going to work?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we have opportunities for table hosts, for sponsors. Table host, how it works. If you're interested in joining us, invite 7 other people with you, and so they can hear the story of the Salvation Army and the impact in the community. And then, of course, enjoy a meal together, come together with some great partners in the community that are going to be invited for that event. And if nothing more, we get to love on you and just network with you a little bit and eat some good food.
So just for those listening out there, it's like it's not like $100 per person kind of thing, but come with your checkbook because you'll want to help the Salvation Army after you see some of the programming.
Absolutely, yes, we do have a fundraising goal for the event, which is $50,000. That is the goal, and we are on our way. We have $13,000 even secured now with sponsorships, so we are grateful for that. But we're still on our way to that $50,000 goal, and that will go towards general operating for the rest of the year. So all of the services programs that we spoke of, all of that funding will go straight to those programs.
Very good. Well, thanks for stopping in today, catching us up on the good things that are going on.
Absolutely. Appreciate you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you to WGNS.
Sure thing. Thanks. Reagan Love joining us with the local Salvation Army, the Community Relations and Development Director. Again, Beyond the Bells, March 20th, The View, 11:30 to 1. You'll want to be there. We'll get the contact info on the podcast, which will be up shortly at wgnsradio.com. Have a good day, everybody.
Greetings, friends. This is Lenny Farmer with the Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home in Murfreesboro. If you ever had to deal with the final arrangements of a loved one, funerals are both emotional and financial. You can easily be drained both ways when you least expect it. I can help you in both of these areas by showing you the positive side of prearranging. Locking in your cost for the rest of your life will truly relieve some emotional stress at that time. Call me, won't you, at 615-893-2422. Let's talk.
It's now time to take a look at today's death notices. With the latest updates, here is WGNS's Steve Thornton.
James D. Spann passed away January the 17th. Lion State, Friday, February the 14th, 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. Scales & Sons Funeral Home. Visitation with the family Saturday, February the 15th, 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. First Baptist Church, Castle Street in Murfreesboro. Celebration of Life also to be held on Saturday at 11 a.m. at the church. Service of committal and interment, Evergreen Cemetery. Scales & Sons Funeral Home, handling arrangements for James D. Spann. Gudrun Wade, Murfreesboro, transitioned from this earthly life to eternal life on Saturday, January 25th. She leaves a host of devoted family members and friends to cherish her memory. The arrangements are incomplete at this time, and the completed obituary will be forthcoming. Scales & Sons Funeral Home, handling services for Gudrun Wade. James E. Burke passed away at the age of 87 on January 21st after a lengthy illness, with his wife Edna Carter at his side. Jim was born in Kansas City, Missouri on November the 21st, 1937, the son of Jeannie McGurk and James E. Burke Sr. His sister is Suzanne Noonan, and his brother is John Burke. His brother Michael Burke is deceased. Jim was a soldier, a scholar, a father, and a world traveler. He had a host of lifelong friends. His children are Bruce James III and Heather Simon Stillwell. Their mother is Gretchen Heim of State College, Pennsylvania. A celebration of life will take place on Saturday, February the 1st at Holy Cross Episcopal Church, 1140 Cason Lane in Murfreesboro. Woodfin Memorial Chapel in charge of cremation arrangements for James E. Burke. I'm Steve Thornton.
Murfreesboro Funeral Home and Cremation Services. Staff members are caring and understand that each family is unique.
We ask them the questions. Is there going to be a burial, going to be a cremation?
Keith Stapleton, manager of the Murfreesboro Funeral Home, off of South Church Street.
Mrs. Flory Linda Bateman Fagan, age 90, of Murfreesboro, passed away peacefully Friday, January 24th. Born in Boyle, Missouri, to the late Everett Alton and Amise Moxon Bateman. Mrs. Fagan earned her bachelor's degree in special education from Belmont University. Survived by her children, Vicki Fagan and her husband, Wayne Thompson, Max Fagan and his wife, Marilyn, Myra McCain and her husband, John, and Amy Wells. 31 grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Visitation with the family will be Sunday, February the 2nd, from 12 noon until 2 p.m. at Woodfin Memorial Chapel. Funeral services will be held Sunday also at 2 p.m. at the chapel. Burial will follow in Evergreen Cemetery for Mrs. Flory Linda Bateman Fagan, age 90. Mr. Donald DeMundrian, age 45, passed away on Wednesday, January 22nd. Services are forthcoming. Hallam Funeral Home, handling services for Mr. Donald DeMundrian. For WGNS Radio, I'm Steve Thornton.
Thank you for trusting Woodfin Funeral Chapels with your most valued treasure. It has been an honor and a privilege to be part of this great community, but most importantly, to be there for you emotionally and to support your family during the journey no one wants to go through. Thank you for trusting Woodfin Funeral Chapels. Woodfin Funeral Chapels, Murfreesboro and Smyrna.
We're News Radio WGNS 100.5, 101.9, 1450. Online and on your phone at wgnsradio.com.
What's the perfect wedding gift? A gravy boat? A toaster? How about goats? That's what a newly married couple in Florida asked their wedding guests for in lieu of traditional gifts. The couple, Catherine and Edwin, met each other while doing humanitarian work in Malawi, Africa. On one trip, they learned how goats transform the lives of impoverished families by providing milk, a source of income, and an opportunity to move out of extreme poverty. And so, when Catherine and Edwin decided to get married, they requested that friends and family donate at least $50 which was enough for one goat. After their wedding, they happily reported that they had reached their goal, 1,000 goats distributed among 25 African villages. What I love about that story is Catherine and Edwin didn't think of their wedding as an opportunity to collect a bunch of stuff for themselves. Even on their special day, a day that really was all about them, they thought about other people instead. That sacrificial character will serve them well in their marriage. Selflessness is the heart of a good relationship. Healthy couples support each other by putting their spouse's well-being above their own and by giving to each other through small acts of daily devotion. Romantic relationships may begin with fun and good feelings, but lasting love is built through sacrifice. To help your marriage thrive, go to focusonthefamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
Hey parents, Parent here. Not to sound old, but if I had $1 for every time someone told me how to parent, well, let's just say I wouldn't need to read this ad to you today. I'd be sitting on the beach somewhere with my feet up. Truth is, I don't trust everyone to tell me stuff. And I don't have time for that 500-page book either. But I do have time for Focus on the Family's weekly age and stage emails that have tips for intentionally raising my son at his age right now. It's super easy. Go to mykidsage.com, put in your kid's age, and get parenting advice you can trust.
I'm going to let you in on a little wireless hack that can cut your cell phone bill in half. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile have convinced you need unlimited data. Fact is, most people don't. Pure Talk only charges $25 a month for unlimited talk, text, and 5 gigs of data plus hotspot. Stop overpaying for wireless. Dial pound 250 and say spend less, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month with Pure Talk.
Portions of our programming have been pre-recorded. The Good Neighbor Network, WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna, flagship station for MTSU sports. Courthouse clock time.